Good morning. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is the Monday edition of the Morning Buzz. I am here alongside my co-host Tara Cicchetti, and as of right now, we have Rob Tagliaferri. Is that it? Is that right?
Fair, buddy.
Tagliaferri. We have Rob Tagliaferri here to give us a sportscast. We have a pretty good show lined up today. This hour on November 22nd, 2021. We are covering the suspicious persons report last night at Montclair State campus, and we're also trying to substitute the COVID vaccine for and the giving machine. I'm here alongside Tara Cicchetti. How are you this morning?
I'm all right. I'm hanging in. Woke up feeling a little bit funky, but it's gonna be all right.
Woke up. Tara's like, I woke up feeling dangerous, like Baker Mayfield.
Less dangerous and more like Mr. Krabs when he's sleeping on like the achy mattress that he doesn't want to get rid of.
Yeah.
More of that. That's more the vibe. How about you? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing okay. Can't complain. Had a pretty decent weekend.
Good.
So, we have a thing before we get straight into it. This is another week where Tara changes up the microphone. So this week we have headset. Last week we had an Apple.
Oh no, it's always been the snowball mic, but the thing was that the stand was broken. So last week I was like just kind of awkwardly holding it like a wine glass. But it's always been this one, so I fixed the stand with good old super glue. So this should be good to go.
The good news
is the blue snowball mic has not failed me yet. This one doesn't work.
I was saying it looks like she has like food while she's eating. It looks like she's eating while talking. I was like, she has an apple. I was like,
no. It's the blue snowball, and it will never fail me. I hope.
Yeah. So we're gonna get straight into it, though. We're gonna start with Rob Tagliaferri, as he's gonna give us a newscast and a sportscast. Rob, take it away.
Thanks, buddy. Hi, I'm Robert Tagliaferri, and this is your WMSC News. Our top story today is how there was an accidental weapon discharge at Atlanta's airport earlier Saturday afternoon. The incident happened around 1:30 p.m., causing a stoppage of flights, and panic over this busy travel weekend. Officials say that the weapon was noticed in a bag during the screenings of one of the passengers. When the people doing the screening saw the bag, gun, the weapon, they took it out and it accidentally discharged. In international news, the WHO is really concerned about the recent COVID surge in Europe. Regional director of the organization, Hans Kluge, stated that 500,000 more deaths could happen in the area by March of next year unless swifter action is taken. He also stated that wearing masks more often could help with this problem. In local news, a Jersey man set himself on fire and walked into a convenience store. He also set smaller fires once inside the Atlantic City gas station convenience store. He was taken to the hospital and has serious injuries. In MSU news, our men's basketball team beat Centenary University 107-106 Saturday. And in MSU news, our women's basketball team lost to Stevens Institute 64-54 in this Saturday as well. In sports, the New England Patriots beat the Atlanta Falcons 25-0 Thursday night.
That's not really news, but thanks for reminding me.
The Jets lost to the Dolphins 24-7, and the Steelers lost to the Chargers 41-37. The weather right now is 50 degrees, and it is going to be raining throughout this morning. For WMSC News, I'm Robert Tagliaferri.
And guess what? Surprise, surprise. Is there anything else that's happening tonight? Is there any good games to watch tonight if you're in the tri-state area?
Oh, I wasn't sure. And tonight, Tampa Bay is going to be playing the New York Giants.
Yes, and a trap game is what I like to call it. And then thank you so much, Rob. And we're gonna go straight into top story Tara time. Hold on, I'm gonna try something.
Okay.
See how this sounds. We're gonna do a testing here. We're gonna do, and it's top story Terra time.
Yeah!
Okay, that
Thanks,
didn't
Little
work.
John. Falls fails me. I know Little John got my back, which is good to know. You know, it's good to know and to have that kind of support in life. But this story is no laughing matter because we were getting texts about this last night. You got these, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah. This
we
was
were,
we're as this is one of those that I was like,
right, and I mean, I don't live on campus, so I was just like, I'm a commuter student. I was watching it, but as someone who lives on campus, I can't imagine this was comforting. So one of our top stories today is that University PD were investigating a suspicious person. Last night around 10 p.m., there were reports from students around campus about supposed suspicious activity. Some students believe there was a shooter on campus armed with a weapon, but these reports were never confirmed at the time. Despite this, rumors spread quickly, and students around campus were afraid. Word spread faster around campus, and some students even called the university police department about the rumors because they hadn't heard of any updates from them. But at 10:09 p.m., students got a text from police saying university police are investigating a report of suspicious persons on campus. There's no current emergency on campus. The next text came about an hour later at 11:18 saying, quote, there is no campus emergency, capital N-O. Police investigation found alleged suspicious individual left campus 2 hours ago. While there was, thankfully, no threat of danger to anyone on campus, there were students on campus who were still affected by the incident. Junior Ryan Breda is president of Montclair State's chapter of Phi Delta Theta and was forced to stay inside University Hall with the rest of his fraternity and called it, quote, the scariest night of my life. University communications contacts said, quote, University police responded to a report of a suspicious person in the Feliciano Business Building. As the building was closing, students saw another student go out to a car and then come back with what appeared to be a case they thought might have a gun in it. The student then left the building, got in a car, and left campus. Officers cleared and searched the building and found nothing of suspicion. At the time, we have no indication of a gun being in the building, and the person did not return to campus. University police are taking extra precautions and bringing in extra officers to search the building again just to be safe. But as the campus alert messages stated last night, there was no campus emergency, end quote. That's the story. So, short story long, it looks like it was a false alarm from the information that we got. They're erring on the side of caution, which is good. Which makes me feel a little bit better, but it was still, it was scary to get these messages last night, and the back-to-back messages, like, were really, were scary for me because it was, I felt like the situation wasn't resolving, but it looks like it was just a false alarm, so I'm hoping.
So my question is, was the Phi Delta Theta, as a side note, that there's no such thing as a fraternity? That doesn't sound ridiculous a little bit, but is there did Phi Delta Theta have to stay in University Hall for the entire night, or was it just for a couple hours? That's my question, because that's a very different, that makes it a little bit the entire night. Not the entire night. They want to back it around midnight. Okay, so
Okay.
they run around midnight, 12:30. So I think this is interesting, due to the fact that it's a question of, was this just a person that just looked creepy, or did they actually think he had something in that case? It's
It
one of
looks
those
like
that
it was the first one,
I hope it's the
according to
first one
this.
that he just looks sketchy and was walking around menacingly. Like, that's
I mean, I
the
get
hope.
it. Better safe. It's, it's just that's the type of thing you can't take lightly, which is, sometimes it means doing stuff like what happened with the fraternity. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, it's just a little bit of a short PSA to all Montclair students. Stay safe out there, and keep your wits about you today, and just don't trust anyone you don't know. And moving on to other news, in Croatia and beyond, guns are more common. in Kenosha and beyond, guns are more common on U.S. streets. As Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted in two killings that he said were self defense, armed civilians patrolled the streets near Wisconsin courthouse with guns out in the open. In Georgia, testimony in the trial of Ahmaud Arbery's killers showed that armed patrols were were commonplace in the neighborhood where Arbery was chased down by three white men and shot. Across much of the nation, it has become increasingly acceptable for Americans to walk the streets with firearms, either carried openly or legally concealed. In places that still forbid such behavior, public possession could soon charge if the U.S. Supreme Court strikes down a New York law. New York's law has been in place since 1913 and it says that to carry a concealed handgun in public for self-defense, an applicant has to demonstrate an actual need for the weapons. 6 more states this year removed requirements to get a permit to carry guns in public, the largest number in any single year. In total, 30 states have enacted stand your ground laws, which remove a requirement to retreat from confrontations before using deadly force. This would mean that 30 of the 50 states that we have allow you to basically fight back, and 20 of them do not. This is a commonly argued about law for the last decade, right, Tara? About last decade, and basically it's looking as if it's slowly starting to reach a climax and start to fall on the other end. As time and time again, it's slowly looking like it's leaning towards there's got to be more gun laws.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, especially after the Rittenhouse thing happened, because people are going to be arguing, especially I can't stress that enough, especially after the Rittenhouse verdict. People are going to be arguing a lot about what self-defense is and what, fighting back is, as opposed to taking action and deliberately harming someone with a gun. So this is going to be something we're going to have to stay on top of, and I feel like we're going to see a lot of stories like this where it's going to change, possibly go back and forth with what the laws say in the near future. So it's going to be tough.
And the interesting fact that I just found is that in the United States has double any other country in the world in gun ownership. They have one per 100,000 people. They have 120.5. So that's compared to second, which is the Falkland Islands with 62.1 people, and the basically the U.S. is the leader in citizens having guns and firearms. So it's quite a big difference compared to other places. And you're listening to the 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is the Morning Buzz. We'll be right back with a few more stories. And we're back here at 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is the Monday edition of the Morning Buzz. And coming up, we got a few more stories. Tara, take it away.
Next up, we have a story about how the GOP embraces natural immunity as a substitute for vaccines. Coming from APnews.com, Republicans fighting President Biden's vaccine mandates are wielding a new weapon against the White House's rules: natural immunity. They argue that people who have recovered from the virus have enough immunity and antibodies to not need COVID vaccines, and the concept has been invoked by Republicans as a sort of stand-in for vaccines. Scientists acknowledge that people previously infected with COVID have some level of immunity, but that vaccines offer a more consistent level of protection. Natural immunity is also far from one-size-fits-all scenario, making it complicated to enact sweeping exemptions to vaccines. Studies also show that COVID survivors who get vaccinated develop extra strong protection, what's known as hybrid immunity. When a previously infected person gets a COVID vaccine, the shot acts like a booster and revs virus-fighting antibodies to higher levels. The combination also strengthens another defense layer of the immune system. The immunity debate comes as the country is experiencing another surge in infections and hospitalizations, and 60 million people remain unvaccinated in a pandemic that has killed more than 770,000 Americans. President Biden is hoping people will get vaccinated because workplace mandates set to take effect early next year, but which face many challenges in the courts. It's interesting to see Republicans picking yet another thing to try to substitute the vaccine instead of, what was the last one? Horse tranquilizer?
Horse tranquilizer. We've had
Leech.
former President Trump said bleach. He never said we should, but he wished that we could just inject it. And I was like, that's a weird wish.
Hey, how about get the vaccine?
Yeah,
How about get the vaccine? How about just get the vaccine? How
yeah,
about stop being selfish and get the vaccine?
that is Tara's message to Trump.
Not to Trump, just to people in general. I don't have
got the
nothing to say to
vaccine?
Trump. I just get the vaccine, get the shot. Time for
you can.
goofiness is over. Time for politicizing is over. Get the vaccine.
Yes, if you
That's
want,
it.
if you, it's one of those. If you're able to, of course, there are many places that can offer it for you. Of course, any CVS or Rite Aid, or basically you could literally go you go to Walmart and there's 50/50 that they'd have it. So
Mhm.
so there's a lot of places. It's very, I gotta say, it's semi funny to watch how like we have the answer about how to solve it, and they're like, no, hear me out.
Yeah, hear me out.
Hear me out. Hold up. How about we go in this direction?
And they're like checking their notes to try to come up with some other like garbage excuse to not get the vaccine and keep their like weird narrative going.
It's like, hold up. I've got a
Natural
genius
immunity.
idea.
Horse tranquilizer. Like it's just like just get the vaccine. Just get the vaccine. We're
How about to get they just basically said, you know how you do it? You kind of get it.
Right.
You like
this is their latest strategy is just get coronavirus.
to avoid that's basically like saying to avoid getting shot, get shot.
Exactly. You're exactly.
Like,
just please get the vaccine. People, stop playing with this. We're past the point of like any meaningful debate. Just get the vaccine. Just get the vaccine. Just get the vaccine. Period.
There are many places. Of course, we're not forcing you, but there are many places in which you could get it. Then I think the funniest thing is just I'm picturing how they're just like, wait, we gotta come up with a different idea.
That's literally it, though.
They got like they're all just meeting up and like, all right, how can we make this look good?
All right, gentlemen, come together.
Come together.
What is the next garbage excuse we could throw? We've tried random chemicals.
Being in that meeting must be creative though, because it's got to be fun. Like you got to be sitting there being like, all right, man, what is it? I got it, and like they're all looking at him like this is genius, and I'm like, that'd be kind of funny to be in the fly in the room there, just be like, okay, they all
it writes itself.
I'm like, they all agreed on that. But
just tell them to get COVID. It'll be
why don't we tell them to just get sick?
Yeah. Like, how about we tell them to just cope?
And someone's just like, yo, put it in different words, and we got some genius up in here.
We got an absolute banger from the GOP.
Yeah, but move from the
get
GOP.
The vaccine.
We got
get the vaccine. Stop playing.
If you want. We're gonna move on to some New Jersey colleges that are rivals, which are not really our rivals, but Kane discloses how Kane can someone just make it official how they say it? It's not Kane University. I'm so sorry, Kenny. This is Mr. Kane. My bad. More New Jersey. Now it's still New Jersey though. It's still New Jersey as we got the congressional. Mr. Kane discloses how much he's worth, and Democrats cry foul in already hot New Jersey congressional race. Not the university, Mr. Tom Kane Jr., who is seeking the Republican nomination to take on Representative Tom Malinowski for the second time, would be his second richest member of the state's congressional delegation if he is elected to Congress next fall. Kane's federal financial disclosure report shows assets of at least $6.5 million, which would put him beyond only Republican Josh Gottenheimer of the 5th district who has 8.8 million. Like members in net worth. Like members of Congress, candidates must disclose their financial finances annually. But Kane's stock trades have drawn criticism from Democrats. During the coronavirus pandemic last year, he sold at least $175,000 worth of stock, including in Johnson and Johnson, which developed the third, but one of the three, but I usually call it the third one. Sorry, one of the three vaccines to fight COVID. And earlier this year, the Keynes Family Partnership, which he owns a third of the interest in, bought at least $15,000 worth of stock in Becton Dickinson and Company, a Franklin Lakes-based medical company that provides COVID tests. Interesting. We got another rich dude on our hands for government. Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought that that it's easier to get into government when you're filthy rich and actively profiting off of a pandemic? But
who would have thought? Who would have thought? I wouldn't have predicted.
Who could have seen this coming?
I have read so many history books. Not once did a rich person have power. Oh my god.
This is new, right? A rich white dude having obscene amounts of power and wealth. This is new.
It's the second one. It's the second richest.
Yeah.
History, man. It's usually they're just average Joes that we elect.
Yeah. I think that's all the commentary we need to do on the story.
Yeah, that was not true at all. There's not been one point in the world of history where, a rich person wasn't elected into power. But we got a little bit of some political news here. We're gonna take a short break and we're gonna be back with a little bit of an interview coming up soon. We got the extended weather, and we also have we have an entertainment segment that will come up very shortly. Stay tuned with us. This is the Monday edition of the Morning Buzz. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is the Monday edition of the Morning Buzz. That was Bizarre Bop by the Ramones. And we have coming up, we have more stories coming to you right now. We got Wellmart's Art Plaza. Tara, take it away.
This one's really cool because the Wellmont Theater and that whole area is really important to Montclair. And if you've ever been to a show there, it's amazing. So this is a cool one. The Wellmont Arts Plaza gets its grand opening and an enthusiastic response. The Montclair community celebrated the creation of the Wellmont Arts Plaza this weekend with a grand opening that included art workshops, live music, and a ribbon cutting. The CEO of Iron State Development
Company also had a ribbon cutting, just so you know. Proceed. I'm sorry. I got
What did I say?
Ribbon cutting.
What did I say?
No. I'm just saying it had to mention the ribbon cutting.
Oh.
I was just like, it's the most important part. The art, the music, and a ribbon cutting. I was just like, wow. It just went from wow to okay. I'm sorry. Proceed.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry for interrupting, but that hit my brain so much. I was just like, I have to say.
They're just like, yes, we know they cut ribbons. Don't worry. I get you. The CEO of Iron State Development Company, David Barry, said, quote, "It's really important. It's really so great to see the plaza with all this life and these great stories and the Wellmont and, of course, these great apartments. We had a really warm and collaborative relationship, and it's a great town to work in, and I appreciate your balanced respect of culture and business at the same time." End quote. The $135 million project on Bloomfield Ave and adjacent to the Wellmont Theater broke ground in late 2018. It includes a 6-story residential building and 38,000 square feet of retail space. Next to the theater is a 4,000 square foot public pedestrian arts plaza. The plaza also includes outdoor seating and space to hold open air performances, which is awesome, right? Like, it's awesome to get that type of space. I mean, I don't know how much we needed more apartments, but it is cool to see that kind of like space that's solely dedicated for performance and art, which is really, it's awesome.
And there was also a ribbon cutting.
Hey, Ben.
Yeah.
I think there was a ribbon cutting.
Oh man, I really think there was a ribbon cutting there.
That's what you think?
It's the most important part. Like, it's amazing how
See, when you started that, I'm still in like wake up mode. So I thought I did something. I thought I had like said something, like said it wrong or something, and just kept going. And I'm just like, that's why I just like locked up. I was just like, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? No, it's just they got to do ribbon cutting. I don't know.
The good news is that I'm just there was art workshops, live music, but there was a ribbon cutting. That's the most important part. Like when I was lucky enough to go see the new room down in the SCM, the when during what was it? I think it was homecoming. There was a new room that was paid for by two alumni. First thing I thought of is when's the ribbon cutting? It's
That's what you thought of?
It's the most. This is the most drawn out joke I've ever had in my life.
This is it?
This is the most like it's not that funny drawn out joke ever. But
Of the ones we could say on air, yeah.
yes. This is you learn something new every day, and we learned that ribbon cutting is.
We learned there was a ribbon cutting.
Yeah, we learned that there was a ribbon cutting. Hey, brought it back. Anyway, that was great.
I don't know. Do you know like why we do that? Why like we're like they're like that's always a thing we do at like event openings is ribbon cuttings?
No. You know what? I think I might know. So, the ribbon cutting ceremonies originated as part of a traditional wedding celebration in countries across Europe. In Italy, for example, the bride's father or the bride herself often cut a ribbon that was placed over the door of the family home, symbolizing the leaving of her family unit and finding and finding freedom in her new family. I'm definitely not reading this off of something. I'm definitely not, as it looks like I'm finding more words. In France, brides cut ribbons while being escorted to the church by their grooms as a symbol of their commitment to overcoming obstacles together. The ceremony
I'm overcoming the obstacle of the fact that
of
like
being together.
we stopped all forward motion to tell the audience that there was a ribbon cutting.
Ribbon
I don't
cutting.
get it.
It's like it's time to cut the cake. Ribbon cutting too. Oh.
Yeah, like just talk about the stage, talk about whatever. I don't know. Like we got this from Montclair local news, and it's an awesome story. I love the fact that there's a new performance space, and I'm ambivalent about the apartments, but it's just funny that they're like, oh, there's all this cool stuff, and ribbon cutting.
And the ribbon cutting. Did you know that it's began these ceremonies and this stuff? It began in the late 1800s. So ribbon cutting's been only going on for about 150 years max. And Ben, stop reading this. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's in there. I didn't see that.
Anyway, again, congratulations to the Wellmont, and honestly, congratulations
for them.
to
I can't wait to go see a show at the Wellmont. That's gonna be awesome.
Absolutely. Hey, Tara, you might be playing there for all we know. So we're really excited to see what they got and what they're going to be doing there. And did you know
that there was a ribbon cutting?
That there was a ribbon cutting. The show's ruined, everybody. It's
back it up. There was a ribbon cutting.
We're gonna say ribbon cutting for the rest of it's because it was a bad joke. Now it's going to be said a million times till
we're gonna beat the joke into submission. Like
yeah,
when our interview shows up later, we're just first question. Hey, did you know there was a ribbon cutting?
Ribbon cutting at the Wellmont. All right. Now we're gonna go. Man, how do you transition to this
reset.
We're just gonna reset. Vending machines are now giving machines, and where people can donate chickens, blankets, boots, or basketballs. Okay, Kenny, that was the most like random set of assorted things I've ever had in a title. Come on, Kenny. And employing illiterate. He just like outsmarted me there. But employing the common and easily understood methods of the vending machine, giving machines allow passerby in American cities to make a charitable donation to a fellow citizen through local and global causes, catering to impulsive givers to indulge their their impulses, they can use the vending machine to purchase anything from a single goat or 2 chickens to providing a household cleaning kit, polio vaccines, or even or even a day at Yankee Stadium for an orphaned teen. When donors make their purchase via credit card, the giving machine dispenses a postcard featuring an image and description of their donation. Of the 10 cities with vending machines nationwide, one of them will be located at Rockefeller Center in New York City. The machine will kick off on Tuesday, November 30th, as the day known as Giving Tuesday. After being halted in 2020 due to the COVID pandemic, the giving machines are back in 10 different United States cities, with a sponsoring church covering all administrative costs for this campaign, so that 100% of each donation goes to each charity.
Can I parse this a little bit?
Go for it.
Number one, the way the story started, it made me think that it was a physical machine with all of those things in it.
Yep, me too.
Okay, good. It's not just me. The story started, I'm like, they got chickens. They got like frozen chickens in the vending machine.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I just pictured some random person in Rockefeller just having a chicken go, and so I'm like, oh, come on, buddy.
Yeah. It just like press the thing, like, and it just comes out the thing like, ah. I'm like,
it's like, what? Like, oh, that's just Neil. He's our chicken.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't ask questions.
There's this, and you see 2 Yankee tickets just on the ground. You're like,
that was the second thing, was that like, this is like, you know, people have a lot of conversations about like performative activism and stuff, right? Like, there's a huge difference between polio vaccines that help people stay alive and a day at Yankee Stadium. Like, I just feel like there's some like mismatched priorities here. Like, I feel like we should go with more like stuff like the polio vaccine and, you know, food. Well, it's just like, I don't understand why like in there is like, oh, a day at the park.
Not everyone can donate a polio vaccine, Tara. Not on a daily basis, people just don't donate polio vaccines. So of course,
I mean, it's just interesting, like the priorities of these, and also like I fully thought that. You mean not everybody could donate a? Hold on, not everybody could donate a polio vaccine. Not everybody could donate a day at Yankee Stadium either.
Yeah, that's what they could donate.
Yeah, the way more affordable day at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. Yeah, some people can only afford the judges' chambers. Some people can afford household cleaning kits, and for some reason, someone is gonna donate chickens
and goats,
and
whole
goats
animals.
to Rockefeller Center.
This is like,
and to cities, mind you.
You know,
they're all in cities.
You remember the SCP stories, Secure, Contain, Protect,
No.
that are about like all like random like alien and supernatural objects that are like hidden among us?
No, I didn't watch that stuff.
They're all like web stories. They're really good. But there's one that was about a vending machine that would just all it did was spit out things that could be considered food to anything in any universe. And I feel like that's what this is. I feel like this is that SCP that's been escaped and revealed to the world. Like, sometimes it spits out a polio vaccine, sometimes it spits out a whole chicken, or a pair of Yankees tickets, or a goat. Like, it's just I don't know. It was just the way. Like, I'm not saying this is a bad idea or anything. I think it's a great way to get people involved in charity. It's just the way it was presented is really funny to me.
Yeah, basically we're ribbing Kenny. Thanks for writing it this way, Kenny.
Not Kenny, or Good News Network, whoever wrote this out like this, but it's not. It's not that. It's just like the whole idea.
We blame Kenny.
We could blame Kenny. I don't think it's Kenny's fault, but we can blame him.
I didn't ask if it was Kenny's fault. I just said, can we blame Kenny?
Fair enough.
I'm grounded. Kenny, am I grounded? Okay, so this. Okay,
Kenny, you're not my real dad, and you never will be.
All right, you know what? It's time. It's time. I have to end this guy's whole career. So, let's see. What are we gonna do this with? You know what? I'm gonna end your career with.
I have no idea what Ben is doing right now.
I think it's time for a little bit of. You know what? I'm gonna go to my good friend Kermit the Frog. Hold on. I'm gonna go with my good friend Kermit. It is now time for Ben's thoughts. Ben's thoughts. Ben's thoughts. Ben's thoughts. Thanks, Kermit. Okay, this is now Ben's thoughts, and this is gonna be directly at our lovely producer, Mr. Kenny Horn. Okay, Kenny. What can I say? Except, man. Oh my goodness, I'm grounded, bro. You don't even know. He's like, he acts like he's such a dad, but he's one of the. He's like, like he's like one of the boys, and he just tries so hard to like not be a dad, like to like not be like one of the boys, or like uh no TV for a month. All right, are we in the 80s, dude? Okay, so far since I've started this, he said you're grounded. Yup, no TV for a month. I didn't know it was in 1980. I'm gonna sneak out of the roof and go to a party in high school, buddy. Okay, nice one, man. Also, you just want to be no parties. Oh no, that'll stop me. And I have a car, man. Anyway, no car. Okay, so no car. Okay, well, I have two legs. He's gonna say no legs. Yeah, I saw that coming. Anyway, so basically, he's writing in a chat that which me and Tara can see. Um, but I have to say, he just wants to be one of the boys, but like tries so hard to be this dad figure. Am I right, Tara?
Tara pleads the fifth.
Pleads the fifth. Oh my goodness, Kenny, defend yourself if you can. This is a ridiculous. Been working with this kid so long. Yeah. He's admitting I'm right. You've been working with this kid so long with his khakis. He looks like Jim Harbaugh. If you don't know who he is, he wears khakis all the time or jeans.
I can't believe you just referred to our morning buzz producer as kid.
Some boring shirt with like, his like the front of his hair is combed up, but whatever. You look like you wear khakis, Kenny. I didn't say you actually do. Also, he has like only the front of his hair combed. The back, like no, he's flexing that he doesn't even do anything to it. It looks like there's like product in it when there's obviously not. He also stands menacingly but sits lazily. I don't know how that's possible, but like he stands like commanding, but then like he sits like he's just laying down.
I hope for you at home and those listening anywhere in the world on WMSCRadio.com or the iHeartRadio app, or you're watching the live stream on Facebook. I hope we're doing an accurate job of painting a picture of our morning buzz producer.
This picture. Yeah.
I hope you get and you know what? If it would be great if somebody like if you know how to draw, if you could draw Kenny based on only our description.
He came in. Nice. Okay, here we go. He came in. Perfect. He's also extremely pale, but like red too.
Yeah.
he looks like if a pale tomato. he looks like a tomato dipped in snow.
What's wrong?
What started this?
What's wrong with the way I'm standing? I'm doing it right now.
No, man. First of all, you're wearing too tight of jeans. What are you in a boy band? Second,
I like NSYNC. Is there a problem?
What do you like? Bye bye bye, or like unbelievable. You also first of all, no way you don't put product in your hair. It's all wavy on top.
I do, but I don't.
Yeah.
I do, but I don't. It depends on how long it is. Right now, there's nothing.
Oh, okay. You also wear a sweater as if like you're a biker when you leave, but you're not. So like you're like trying to be that guy. You know, in that biker that wears. Hold up. There's always that like one bad boy that wears a sweater. It's like a family event to be like, oh my gosh, he's tame. You look like you're like going to like show that you're tamed when you're not a biker bad boy. You know what I'm saying?
I've never heard of a biker wearing a sweater.
What's wrong with wearing a warm shirt when it's cold out?
No, but like you look like a
you
look like that. Like you look like you're trying to impress somebody.
That looks like a biker.
That's fair. Honestly, that's pretty fair. I hope someone draws this. If you draw this, I will put it on the door.
See, Rob's got my back.
You guys, Rob's like, there's no biker that looks like a tomato dipped in snow.
Like, if I want somebody to draw this, we'll put it up on WMSC's socials. If you draw Kenny based on only these descriptions,
the rule
don't look.
You can't look at Kenny while you do this. You can't have a picture of Kenny. You have to do it only by my description of Kenny.
You're just gonna get a round tomato that's just white.
He's also like
jeans.
He's also like square. Like he looks like a rectangle. Like he's like how like some people like your legs are wider than your stomach, or your stomach's wider than your legs and stuff like that, or skinny legs. He just looks like he's the same size throughout. Like nothing, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, you see, yeah, you looked, and he's like, you're not wrong.
Kinda. My hips are kind of wide.
All right, he's flexing that he has hips that don't lie,
They do
but
not lie.
He's
They're
flexing that
stupid.
he got dump truck.
he's got beep, beep, beep. But I'll give you that.
That's true.
Yeah, I hope someone draws like when they're drawing. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I'm not even playing. If you draw Kenny based on only our descriptions, you can't look because he's on the socials and stuff, but you can't look. If you draw him only based on our descriptions, it'll go on our socials. Socials.
And it'll be the Morning Buzz Kenny edition.
Let's talk to Yaz and Petrino. Let's make this a contest.
Make this a contest. Who can draw Kenny based on
We'll
my
pull the
description?
audio from this and just have it be your Ben's description of Ben and Tara's description of Kenny, and then that's your prompt. We'll make it an art thing.
You also look tired and angry, but like
Yeah,
you look
'cause-
like you're never gonna do anything about it when it comes to your attitude.
He's angry because
Define what you mean.
you and I have been describing his body for the past like 10 minutes on
Listen,
air.
Kenny, if you want to go and like hit back at me, it's okay.
Oh no, that's what the comments after the show are for.
Yeah, Kenny's vengeance.
Kenny's
That's right.
revenge.
Oh, you're gonna hit me with the comments after the show, but instead of like
or one of those, or at those morning buzz meetings that are at like midnight because your team is made of a bunch of psychopaths.
yeah,
I'll give you that one.
yeah.
We all have team meetings.
Back to
on
more
WMSC.
insults on Kenny.
We
No,
all
back
have
to more
teams
insults
like
on Ben. Ben, why are you wearing a Yankees beanie if you're from Maine?
Because my mom was a Yankee fan. Next question. Dumb question. Try again.
I got nothing.
Exactly. Whatever.
Are we going around and just gently roasting the entire morning buzz right now?
Nah, like Kenny tried so hard to get me.
I was proud of that one.
And fell right on his face.
I was gonna say, gently roasting the entire
Good
staff
try.
of WMSC is what the end of year banquet is for.
Oh,
That's what we do.
yeah. Get
As
ready, Kenny.
as tradition dictates.
Kenny.
That's gonna be my last one. So
Get ready, Kenny, because I probably will be hosting it.
I expect you to.
Yeah. Have fun, buddy.
I have a feeling there's gonna
Listen,
be 3 hosts,
Four
and I know,
Eyes.
and two of them are hosting
Ah.
this morning buzz.
That's right.
You called me Four Eyes?
I did call you
Kenny
Four
called me
Eyes.
Four Eyes.
I did.
Oh, so
That's
so
unacceptable.
when you get the description on my picture, make sure I wear glasses.
No, he actually has
Oh,
four
I
eyes.
actually have 4 eyes. Okay, I can see right through you.
Yeah, two-
Oh, get out of here. Boom. Man, you're bad at roasting. Or I
Are
just
we
don't
ready
have-
to do the next story before we go
I'm
to
bad at
top of the
roasting when
hour?
there's FCC rules.
And what?
I'm bad at roasting when there's FCC rules.
Absolutely. And we're gonna see if our producer wants to stick around for this next story.
All right, let's
True-
cut the ribbon on this next story.
Producer says move on to entertainment segment. Ashley, I've stolen your time long enough. Go ahead.
Move on to entertainment.
Move on to entertainment.
Oh, okay. LOL.
Oh, word! Tara
Sorry.
doesn't get to read a story. It's okay, Kenny. You can tell me how you really feel about
okay,
me.
This show is truly unraveled, but the Ben's
No,
thoughts
Ben,
always
Ben, I need you to have my back on
You
this
look
one,
like
all
a
right? I'm just trying to read a story, trying to do my job. I get up every Monday, put my
Is it-
pants on one leg at a time. Just kidding, I'm not wearing pants right now. But it's like I do my best, and I'm just gonna read this story, and then Kenny, okay, just like my real dad is like, I don't care about your needs, and it's just like, okay, let's go to the next thing.
You okay?
Leave
Tara?
you, Tara. Nobody loves you.
Tara. You okay? Anyway, Ashley.
No, I'm not. I was gonna read a story about how trees gave the Jersey Shore things, and now Kenny
We
messed
will-
it up.
Tara, we'll get to it. I promise. I promise.
No, we won't. It's ruined.
We're gonna talk about trees later. We're gonna
No, I
What?
can't cut the ribbon
Why
on
am I
this
being the
story.
voice of reason? This is not a good look for me.
I need to go compose myself. Ashley,
Ashley, we got some entertainment. We got two very this went from 0 to 100 real quick in this show. But we're gonna go straight into the entertainment segment. Well, we got some more Kim K and Pete Davidson. Take it away.
So 2 weeks ago,
Oh.
I said I would keep you guys updated on this, like the relationship between Pete and Kim. And the two have been seen holding hands in California, Desert City on Wednesday, November 17th. And the same photos of them celebrating Pete Davidson's 28th birthday together were made public. His 28th birthday was the 16th And Kim was dressed in a tank top, sweatpants, and sneakers from her ex Yeez, Adidas Yeezy brand. And Pete was wearing a black t-shirt and plaid pajamas from her Skims brand. And they were spotted in an Escalade along with other people. Pete and Kim were later seen out walking out of the car holding hands. And although Pete and Kim have been spotted on multiple dinner dates in recent weeks, their latest outing was like their first sign that the pair had taken their relationship to the next level, their friendship. And this leads us to believe that, well, a source told E that
Yay.
On November 18th,
It's
Kim and
yay,
Pete are
Ashley.
official. So
Not
who expected
yee.
that?
It's yay.
It's
Okay,
Ashley.
so
I thought it was yee. I
I'm
didn't
co-opting
know.
the story right now. You ready? I'm co-opting the story because, right? It is 11/22. On, I can't read the date. About 2 weeks ago, there was somebody posed a question on TikTok about how Kris Jenner was going to try to
Yes.
spin the Astroworld disaster,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Because
yes, I heard
she's
that.
involved, because Chloe is dating Travis Scott. One of the responses from TikTok user Captain Knuckles, which is a great username,
Also, Chloe's not dating Travis Scott. It's one of the Jenners.
whatever.
It's
Kylie.
Anyway,
Kylie, but it's okay. We got it.
it doesn't matter.
Bang, bang. I know my Kardashians.
TikTok user Captain Knuckles said one of the things that they would use to distract from this whole controversy thing and that Travis Scott was complicit in a bunch of people's death is putting Kim up in a relationship with Pete Davidson.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. But like, I didn't want to bring it up because like I didn't know. It's like a conspiracy in a way.
It's
we don't know.
it's speculation purely, but like I think it's fascinating because like
Yes.
there's like that family is involved in a literal like real life controversy that had real life consequences and people
Yeah.
died, and yet they're out here reporting on like, you know, oh, Kim's dating so and so. Like it's really interesting to me.
Yeah.
I first of all, I think that that is way too elaborate for their brains to comprehend.
No,
what they're doing.
no. Their brains maybe. Kris made careers for all these people who do absolutely nothing. She is a genius. Kris Jenner is the mastermind.
The devil works hard, but Kris Jenner
successfully-
works harder.
She successfully pimped out an entire family of talentless people who do
Well, hold
nothing.
up. Hold up. Hold up. I'm just saying, Kim got famous off of something, and then they made a show about.
You think that was an accident?
No, I think it was a relationship.
I think Kris is a genius. Okay, she has made this empire out of absolutely nothing. These people do nothing. They have no talent, no personality. They're just there, and she has made them into an American icon. Okay, so I would not put it past her to be like, okay, we need something to distract from the fact that we're connected to 10 people's deaths. Let's make some headlines by having the most famous one go out with Pete Davidson. Just saying. I'm just saying.
I think they're still reporting about Travis Scott.
They are,
It
but
kind
are
of
we-
died out though. Like
Yeah.
after the Kim and Pete story, like they kind of everyone forgot about it. Like not gonna lie, I forgot too, until my friend brought it up, and I was like, wait, that's true. Like
Yeah. Wait, this is if we're talking about them, we
Well,
should still be talking about
to
this.
be honest, that's kind of on you guys for forgetting because it is a huge thing. Like that's on you. Like,
And yet, this is
like,
what we're reporting on.
Well, to like.
Why are you defending
Well,
them?
because I'm showing the other side, and the other side says, like, there is no update. It's currently on it. So what's happening? There's no updates on that at the moment. When there is, it'll probably be the top story. On this, it's not really a top story thing. It's more of an entertainment top story, but like it's not really a top story in normal news. So I don't think that this was a stunt to eliminate it. To be honest, I
absolutely do.
I feel like it does. Chris is
again,
like
if
very
you forget,
strategic.
that's on you. Like I remembered it throughout all of this. I didn't just go, oh, now that just not is not a thing anymore. Like that's all I'm saying.
That's fair. I'm just saying that they have their priorities in order. They're not stupid, and they're about to roll out a new show on Hulu.
What is
So
Keeping Up with the Kardashians Part 2: Return of the Jenners? Like what is the title gonna be? Welcome to what?
Heck.
Oh, Caitlyn comes back.
Welcome to Heck.
How funny would that be?
Oh, that's your. Yeah, that's but it is interesting. First of all, I think the other thing that I want to address is, man, being Pete Davidson must be awesome. You go from Ariana Grande to another model to Kim Kardashian. I gotta say, Pete, giving all these comedy kids a chance, like being a true man of the people. Man,
I feel like you're projecting a touch.
What do you mean?
You just said giving all comedy kids a chance.
Oh man, I'm just saying. You'd never think a guy like Pete Davidson could do what he did, and good for him. Good for him.
Exactly.
Yeah, good for him. Like he gives hope to us guys. Yeah, just the basically the moral of the story is be tall. Be tall.
He also
and
has a
funny.
personality too.
Tall?
He's also funny.
Yeah,
Be tall and- be tall-
he's
Be
cool.
tall and funny.
He's tall and funny.
I
You guys
never
have
heard
no
anybody say a
input on
bad thing
this.
about him.
Rob, you agree? Good for Pete. Good for Pete. Be tall and funny.
I got you.
Tall, lanky white dudes do great in Hollywood.
He's not.
Well, no, they don't do well in Hollywood. They do well at dating Kardashians at the
on
moment.
Saturday night.
Same difference. Whatever.
And
And Saturday Night Live.
and they do pretty well on Saturday Night Live. That's about it.
Yeah.
White dudes. Kenny,
I was
our
gonna
producer
say that
just
might
said
not
white
be
dudes just
about
do well
it.
in Hollywood.
I feel like it's a little more than that, but
Yeah,
it's
It's the tattoos.
man.
Pete Davidson's
He's actually getting
alright.
them removed.
What?
So
Which one?
like all of them.
Really?
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
gonna be
That sounds
horrible.
painful.
Because he said it's like
Wow.
harder for him to get roles and like he isn't like having to like cover them up for like projects and stuff. So he's just gonna get them removed.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's
gonna
fair.
be
Yeah,
painful.
That's
That's-
understandable.
Yeah, you know what's funny is how much he's carrying SNL in my mind right now.
100%.
Exactly.
I really do not think anyone besides the Colin and Che, I really don't think anyone else is funny.
SNL is not what it used to be.
Case in point, he left the show and they're bringing him back once a week.
He did?
Apparently, he left a while back and he's just coming back as like guest roles, and now he's back once a week.
Yeah, he's
Lauren Michaels was like, "Please make us funny. I'm begging you. We have nothing else."
We're nothing without you. Keenan Thompson doesn't hold a.
Keenan
Well-
Thompson's been doing this longer than you've been alive.
I think Keenan left. Keenan left.
No.
No, Keenan's still there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Man. I don't find him as funny as he used to be.
No, not
Me
at all.
neither.
He used to be very funny. Well, we're gonna go to Adele as you're listening to 90.3 WMC Upper Montclair. It's the top of the hour, the 8 o'clock hour. But we're gonna be talking about Adele's new album fairly soon. But we're gonna go to a quick break. You're listening to 90.3 WMC Upper Montclair. Tara Cicchetti, as you're listening to Monday edition of the Morning Buzz. We got a nice second hour coming up here. We're gonna be discussing American Music Awards, interviewing Montclair councilman, and what Florida man says blew into his car window. A nice show coming up. I'm Ben Petrick alongside Tara Cicchetti. We have Rob Tagliaferro and Ashley Del Cueto with us. And Ashley is going to hit us with the second hour newscast. And my boy, Rob, is going to hit us with the sportscast. Take it away, Ashley.
So for national news, authorities are scrambling to find answers after tragedy unfolded at a holiday parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin yesterday evening. At least 5 people were killed when an SUV plowed into the parade happening in the community outside Milwaukee. Dozens were injured, and many of them were children. Gunshots were also reported, but police later said those shots were from police officer that was trying to stop the vehicle. And one person's in custody, but no word yet on a possible motive or cause of incident. And for state news, an investigation is underway after several people, including a child, were shot during a Friendsgiving celebration in Passaic, New Jersey. Authorities say 4 adults in their 20s and a 4-year-old child were shot in a backyard early Sunday morning. The victims were taken to a nearby hospital for treatment, and at least 2 gunmen were being sought.
Thank you so much, Ashley. And we're going to go to another sportscast by Rob Tagliaferro.
Thank you, Ben. Today in sports, the New England Patriots beat the Atlanta Falcons this past Thursday, 25-0. The Eagles beat the New Orleans Saints 40-10 yesterday. The Jets lost to Miami Dolphins 24-7 yesterday, and the Steelers lost to the Chargers 41-37 last night. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be playing the New York Giants at MetLife tonight.
Thank you so much, Rob. We're going to go straight into the first story of the second hour. We're going to go back to Top Story Tara with the 8 o'clock hour Tesla. So, oh my goodness, Top Story Tara about Teslas coming
Let's
up
go.
here. Tara, take it away.
This story is fun. Tesla drivers left unable to start their cars after outage. Dozens of owners posted on social media about seeing an error message on the mobile app that was preventing them from connecting to their vehicles. The Tesla app is used as a key by drivers to unlock and start their cars. About 500 users reported an error on the app around 1640 Eastern Time, and over 5 hours later, there were still over 60 reports of an error. Editor of the Car Expert website said, quote, "There will be a secondary mechanism to get in and out of the car beyond the app. The difficulty will come for drivers if they're not carrying it. Technology makes things convenient, but relies on a server working 100% of the time. It's the same as leaving the house without my credit cards, expecting to pay for things with my smartphone. If we're relying on one mechanism all the time, we can all be caught out." End quote. To which I say, lol, hold that L, tech bros. This is hilarious. I can't stand Tesla. This is awesome. Like, I get like that there's going to be a lot of new like technologies moving forward in terms of cars and stuff, especially, you know, as electric cars really take off and hit their stride. But like this whole keyless thing and relying on your phone to be the key for your car, that's stupid. And this is one of the many reasons why this is stupid, because if something goes wrong with the app, and stuff goes wrong with apps all the time, then you can't get into your car. So I would like to personally extend a big old L to all the tech bros that drive Teslas, and I hope they enjoy it this time. Which is great, because
You know, I have to say though, your vendetta against Teslas is not surprising. I would expect nothing less, but I will say the one thing.
why would you expect nothing less? I'm curious.
No, there's always something that like somebody doesn't like, and I was like, if I were to predict Teslas, I'd be like, probably like it'd be Tara and our engineer director Nate would have a shared thing. With that, my boss programming. Yeah, I just feel like you
start
both would
anywhere, you know.
I feel like you both would. It just seems like the perfect thing for you guys both to make fun of, to a point, like impersonating Elon Musk. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's a match made in heaven with making fun of it.
That's fair. I mean, where do you want to start? Like the union busting, the forcing workers to come in during the height of the pandemic, the CEO being an absolute lunatic, the low production quality, the stupid ideas like this that lead to stupid. Like, I got time. Tesla, I get why they happened, and I get that a company needed to show up and show like the whole automotive world that, hey, you're sleeping on electric cars, and we're going to use the fact that you're sleeping on it to make a bunch of money. I get it. Like that's what the industry needed. I just hate the company.
Well, Jessica Barraza has a similar opinion to you about Tesla, as she worked night shifts at the factory for Tesla, and she's experiencing nearly daily cat calls and inappropriate touching while working, and she's seeking compensatory and punitive damages from this firm. And the Tesla did not respond immediately to the request to comment, but it was said that male workers would routinely proposition her, stare at her breasts, and describe her as having a onion booty or Coke bottle, and brush up against her body while pretending it was accidental. She said to the Washington Post, which first reported her case. So Tesla isn't the best place.
Yeah, no, I can't stand the company. I just think that like it's a it had to happen. Like a company needed to show up and catch the whole automotive world sleeping. But now that that's done, they can go away now. And this is exactly like we talk about like having a single point of failure, right? Like where your whole thing about like the fact that you want. Let me try that sentence again.
We believe. You went out just like the Tesla's.
I went out just like people's ability to get into their car.
Yeah.
Like if you have everything around like a single thing, like your phone, like if something goes wrong with the phone, then you're losing every single thing that the phone is taking the place of. I get it. I get you want to be all future-y and keyless entry and whatever, but sometimes it ain't it. And this is why. But I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with them, and
me and my used Chevy are just gonna hang out and just
working quite well together.
We're vibing.
But we're gonna go into a little bit more entertainment again. Is Ashley still with us, or did Ashley dip?
We better cut the ribbon.
Ashley,
on
we
this
got some
next
more
story.
entertainment. Do you want to join? Yeah, I'm gonna cut the ribbon on this one. As the American Music Awards were presented Sunday in Los Angeles, and here are the winners: Artist of the Year, BTS. New Artist of the Year, Olivia Rodrigo. Favorite Trending Song, Megan Thee Stallion, Body. Favorite Music Video, Lil Nas X and Montero, Call Me By Your Name. Favorite Male Pop Artist, Ed Sheeran. Favorite Female Pop Artist, Taylor Swift. Favorite Pop Duo or Group, BTS. Favorite Pop Album, Taylor Swift's Evermore. Favorite Male Country Artist, Luke Bryan. Favorite Female Country Artist, Carrie Underwood. Favorite Country Duo or Group, Dan and Shay. Favorite Country Album, Gabby Barrett's Goldmine. Favorite Country Song, Gabby Barrett's The Good Ones. Favorite R&B Song, Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak, Leave the Door Open. What do we think?
All right, let's talk about it.
One, all right, hear me out.
I'm hearing.
This Luke Bryan being the favorite male country artist.
That's exactly what I wanted to ask you about.
He did nothing over the year, nor did Carrie Underwood made one song. So that being it was kind of ridiculous. At least Dan Shay, they're basically pop. So Dan Shay winning that every year is not going to be a surprise to me at all. That I agree with all of the top, all the way down to I think the best pop album was it Taylor Swift's Evermore though. No.
It probably wasn't. I feel like
Taylor Swift was the best female
Olivia
artist.
Rodrigo.
But Sour should have won in my mind too.
Montero, the album was album of the year material, like full stop.
That too.
That's a cover to cover. That's a cover to cover. Like every track hits.
I'd say personally, based on the sheer like gravity of this being the first album she's released, and just overall just the amount of people that listened to it and the amount of people that loved all the hits, I think that it should go to Sour. And then I think Lil Nas is also person that if Lil Nas won too, I just don't think Evermore got the popularity that especially the Red re-release got. So like I feel like Evermore was trumped by her two re-releases. So
agreed.
Why
100% agreed.
Both the re-released albums did better than Evermore, I think. I could be wrong, but I think that's what happened, and that's why I'm like, well, why is
Also, I'm gonna go out here and this is not a statement of any opinion. I just don't know anything about K-pop. I'm illiterate when it comes to K-pop.
It's just, what if we made something catchy? Yeah.
It's straight ahead pop music.
It's actually not bad though. I like crack jokes about it because that's basically what pop was to people when that it first came out in like the 2010s.
For those of you who don't know, K-pop, Korean pop music, is what the Artist of the Year BTS does. They got Artist of the Year and Pop Group of the Year.
Yeah, they get Pop Group of the Year just like Dan and Shay will get Country Pop Group of the Year. I think that the funny thing is they say, I don't get it. I don't get why they have. I think they should stop making I think they should eliminate the Grammys, eliminate all of this stuff, because they all don't know what they're talking about. For example, all these people do not know what they're talking about when it comes to country music. That's just a fact. So
Luke Combs is out here having one of the best years of his career.
He's not the male artist of the year either, if like you put it as like overall, because he didn't release an album in 2021. If you're talking 2020, maybe Luke, because he had but I would honestly say there are many artists that give it to. There's Thomas Rhett, who deserves it. You have who released songs that everyone likes. You have who else is there? There's so many more. There's Gabby Barrett could win of that. I don't get why she didn't get the nom. There's also Brothers Osborne, who had a great album. There's so many other artists that did more productive stuff than Luke Bryan, that I think this year, I think they just blindly pick someone and just went, we know him. Like, that's why I'm at the point where I think some of these music awards are a joke because they don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, they are. They absolutely are.
That's why I'm saying they should have the representatives of each genre. That's why my favorite ones are the CMAs. I love the hip hop award show because
there's always good performances.
What they're talking about. They have it specific to your genre. They know what they're talking about, and the awards are legitimate.
Yeah, and also the performances are straight fire.
Yeah, so there's not many like ooh, that's a close one. They're like, oh yeah, like even if there's snubs, you're like, at least I see why. Like that's like I just feel like them not knowing what they're talking about makes it so much. And the Grammys is the worst with that.
Oh yeah. Although again, I like watching because I like the red carpets and I like all the performances that they have.
You can do that. You the same exact thing, but just do it per genre of music. So have a rock and roll, have an indie show, have like any genre that their album falls under or the artist believes their music falls under, they can show up to. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's just.
I have no idea how Ed Sheeran won favorite male pop artist over Lil Nas X.
I was just thinking that. Like,
are you out of your? Have you lost your mind completely? Lil Nas X has had the industry in a chokehold this entire year. Not only that, not only were the songs good, not only is the album of the year good, but it's all like relevant commentary on stuff and his experiences as a black gay man navigating the insanely bigoted world of entertainment. And it just like, and the amount of conversation, the amount of discourse that was around just the Call Me By Your Name video, which they recognized, right? Like that alone. What did Ed Sheeran do that was on that level this year? Nothing. Zip, like zilch, zero. What?
Just like a safety choice that they chose. Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Like.
It's exactly it. I just like how on earth, like Lil Nas X had this year by the collar. It just like, I don't understand, man. That is an interesting choice. And Ben, I'm glad you brought up the country thing because I'm still learning in the ways of country, as you know. I'm apprenticing. It's new.
You're learning.
I'm learning, and I still have to buy the Waffle House hat. That has to happen before we do the thing.
Waffle House hat.
I might get a Waffle House visor, but that's a different story. I'm glad you brought that up because like even our problem child with his double album did more, you know?
Yeah, they of course the problem child being Morgan Wallen, who had that recent recent scandal in which he said a racial slur on January, but apparently now people, especially venues, don't seem to care anymore after his big little bit of a mini tour around Alabama, Georgia, that area, because even the Madison Square Garden signed him up for one tour date, and after one day of ticket selling, he has a second day there at Madison Square Garden.
I have no idea what
After
I don't know
one
what to
day.
make of that. It's not my place to speak on that, but
February 9th and 10th, I believe, he's going to be in Madison Square Garden.
but like I just don't understand why Luke Bryan, why Carrie Underwood, what did they do this year?
Well, Carrie Underwood made a banger of a song this year, so like I'm not even that mad about Carrie. And also, Carrie Underwood released a album, and that was really popular. So Carrie Underwood isn't like I don't think Carrie Underwood should have won. I think it should have been Carly Pearce. They picking the pop people, the people that make pop songs. So if Morgan Wallen didn't have what he had, he would have won male country artist. They picked the pop artists, and Morgan is more of a pop country person too. So they just pick pop people. They don't listen to the actual country songs. That's why this is ridiculous. So even numbers wise, Luke Combs is more popular than all of these artists that are listed here.
I was gonna say Luke. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like you showed me like where Luke Combs is charting, and he's
honestly the highest rated here besides Taylor right now.
Yeah,
the highest rated on this, I think. But like sometimes these people take over on top of when they release an album or a new song. But like right now, I think Taylor's the only one I could confidently say is above him right now.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even consider her a country artist.
And honestly, it sounds crazy, but even Morgan's like right behind Luke. Like they're both right there.
Like how you arrived at Luke Bryan is beyond me.
Yeah. So, but I have to say though, favorite R&B song, Bruno Mars. I love everything about that song, and so much so that we're gonna play "Leave the Door Open." I'm so excited for this one. You're listening to the Morning Buzz here at 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, the Monday edition. As a lot just happened here. We're going to go back to a couple more stories as we, first of all, we just listened to Leave the Door Open by Bruno Mars and Silk Sonic. Well, you don't come here ever, so never mind. Where are you right now? You keep moving around. Ashley has moved around if you're looking at Facebook Live. Like, and she's like been like different background settings. Where are you?
I'm in the lounge.
Oh, you're in the lounge?
Yeah.
You're you dorming?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you. Oh, wow. So she's so. So
I
wait a
was
minute.
a little tired this morning. Not gonna lie.
Hold on. You could be in studio.
Yes, I could have.
You're literally a 5-second walk away.
It's more like a 10-minute walk, and it was gonna rain, so I was like.
You're not in the village, are you?
No.
So it's not a 10-minute walk. It's
you don't have to say exactly where you are on air.
No, of course not. Of course not. But that's I'm keeping it generalized. But still, like it's a 10-minute walk. Oh my goodness, Ashley,
maybe next week.
Lazy.
Maybe next week.
Maybe not. Oh, so lazy. I'm not even gonna be here next week either. So
wait, are you really not gonna be here next week?
Next week, maybe. I'm not sure. There might be a surprise coming next Monday, but if it's me, I'm sorry. LOL to that surprise. But
I was gonna say I want to abandon Ben.
Big LOL. What do you call it? We got. First of all, Kenny, learn to spell. So, Kenny's writing in
back on the spot. Kenny's Morning Buzz producer Kenny Horn.
sorry. We both got so distracted by his horrible spelling that he wrote to us.
That Kenny just typed in the chat. Will Podge.
English is tough, man. Anyway, as he's coming in, man, you can't write English. Like, oh,
I will have you know.
Oh, he's back.
Throughout my entire
Hold
time.
on, let me say it how you would have write it.
I said
let's Todge about it.
Let's Todge about it real quick.
I'm gonna Todge you about this, okay? So I'll have you know that throughout my entire time in education,
throughout your entire time or time?
Throughout my entire time in education, I never got a single spelling word wrong.
Oh, I got so many.
I never got one. Ha.
Man,
And he just came in here to floss his grade school spelling record.
Yeah, man.
I bet you were. Fourth grade.
I bet you were so cool in school.
Oh yeah, my teacher left me. Right, that's all that matters. Right.
I muted him. Anyway, so
I muted him.
Anyway, quite a journey he's had. Journey concert tickets, 2022 tour in New Jersey.
Check this out.
Scheduled just this year. Oh, you want to do it? Sorry.
You know what, Ben? I'm starting to feel like our relationship needs some working on. I'm just trying to read a story, man. You cut me off. I don't sleep in the same bed anymore.
Wait. Hold up. Run it back, Turbo.
It's just
you'll pause.
We don't even talk when you come home from work. I feel like our relationship needs working on right now.
Tara, I think our relationship needs working on. You don't come in as well. You and Ashley just sit at home. I'm all alone in the studio by myself. Me and my laptop.
Kenny is just not acknowledged at all.
Kenny just walks in and yells at me. This has nothing to do with the morning buzz.
You know what? We'll talk about this when you get home. Yeah. Anyway.
Wait, what? You'll pause?
Oh, now you're not coming home. Oh, work.
No.
Oh, work. Thanks. It's good to thank you for letting everybody know on air that our relationship is in such bad shape right now. You love me. Journey concert tickets go on sale for their 2022 tour in Jersey. There's going to be some shows. Just this year, legendary rock group Journey released a single, The Way We Used to Be. Chart-topping, long-running Don't Stop Believin' band is set to blast off on their Freedom Tour alongside Billy Idol and Toto. Ooh, that's a good show. Come February 2022. If you're interested in getting your fill, the band will be in Philly and on the February 23rd, and Newark, more importantly, on February 27th. That's a good show. Journey, Billy Idol, and Toto in one set. That's cool. That's a cool show.
That's gotta be
mad. Yeah.
Nostalgia just right down your throat.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Of course, yeah.
Not in like a way.
No, not in a way.
Not in a way.
Yeah.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. So we're excited to see what Journey has coming up.
And if you're wondering who we just said good morning to, it is Councilman Peter Yacobelis.
Which we'll be getting.
How you doing?
How are you?
If you're excited for some Peter, then we're gonna talk to Peter right after this short message. But we're excited. Stay tuned with us. We have an interview coming up. And hold on. Oh my goodness. I made a bad mistake. You know how I said my laptop wasn't looking at me? My laptop messed me up. It held me
Ben,
down.
I told you
from the mouse, and now I can't move. Hold on, I'm good. Here we go. We're gonna be right back.
Maybe if you were nicer to me, this wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like this is just karma. As you're listening to the Morning Buzz here, 90.3 WMC Upper Montclair. We'll be right back with the interview coming up. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is the Monday edition of the Morning Buzz, and we are here with Peter Yacobelis. It's official. According to the Human Rights Campaign Municipal Equality Index, the city of Montclair is the highest possible ranking for the LGBTQ plus equality. 4 years ago, it all changed with Peter Yacobelis, who became the first openly gay elected official in the township. Since then, he and his council works has jumped Montclair up 39 points. Joining us on the show to talk about the monumental achievement, we're joined by the man himself. Welcome to the show, Councilman Peter Yacobelis.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
And good morning. How are you doing this evening? I don't even know what time it is, Peter. How are you doing this morning?
Well, evening would mean the day is over and it's time for TV. So
he's like, don't let me think about it. Don't let me think about it.
Got a long day ahead. I'm actually coming up to Montclair State just after this.
Awesome. And Montclair's perfect score is a 100 out of 100. What metrics go into getting a score so high?
Quite a lot. So, you have to have some basic fundamental things like protections in terms of employment for the LGBTQ community, making sure there's no discrimination there. you have to enumerate it specifically on the basis of gender identity, expression, or sexual orientation. That has to be carried over into township procurement, so how we spend our money. So making sure any dollar we spend of your tax money, people's tax dollars in Montclair, can only be spent with third-party entities who also have those protections on the books for their own employees. So we're not paying some third-party contractor who then discriminates against people who are LGBTQ on their payroll. So it's important in terms of having a pretty broad effect in terms of the local economy. But it also comes down to other things as well. So, making sure we're tracking hate crimes that may take place in Montclair and reporting the data to the FBI, making sure we have ongoing relationships with the community at large between the police department's liaison and the township's liaison and the LGBT community, having a civil rights commission, and I can go on and on. There's just so much that goes into it.
And if you were to look at this town 4 years ago, what do you think would be different from now?
Well, I think, we've seen, I think we've had the right values in this town. I think the people have the right values for a long time. I don't think we've been able to, until now, codify those values into actual law and policy. And a lot of that has to do, frankly, with what I argued for when I ran for office last year, which was to, have a seat at the table. Having a seat at the table makes a difference. And by the way, it made an immediate difference. Just my election alone in 2020 resulted in us getting a couple extra points. They take that seriously as well, that somebody has a seat at the table. But, I don't think there was certainly nothing nefarious going on, but is it the top of the list for straight people to address LGBT issues? Not necessarily, if they're not aware with what the problems or challenges are. So, I'm able to come in and I have those relationships with people in Washington and people in Trenton to see, okay, what could we be doing differently here to make sure we're doing more than the regular average community in New Jersey? And you find, as soon as you start that conversation, there's a lot of like, oh yeah, yeah, we should be doing that. Why don't we do that, right? So it was about, going from the perception of equality to structural equality, and now focusing on lived equality.
Right. I'm glad you brought up that, first of all, again, congratulations on your election. Representation on that type of level is hugely important. You mentioned, dealing a lot with Trenton, dealing a lot with Washington, and, those environments have been pretty turbulent, especially over the past couple of years. As somebody who is part of the political end of things, right? How has it been hard to deal with like the misinformation and disinformation that's been spread from that level, and what has it been like dealing with that, and how's it been for you?
So I was always on the activist side, and I've only been in office, like I said, just a year and a half. And so it's, first of all, that's a huge adjustment, right? I'm used to agitating and pushing for change from the people in power. And, so what I would say is, I think when marriage equality happened in this country just a few years ago, people forget this is like 7 years ago.
Yeah, that was 2015. I remember being at that Pride. Like that's not like it. That's not something to be taken for granted,
Right. And I think a lot of people, in the LGBTQ community said, we're done, right? We're good. And I think a lot of allies said the same thing, like, wow, this was the quickest arc of change for a civil rights movement in our country's history. Wrong, right? We got marriage equality, but we left out so much in terms of protections and employment, adoption. People who are openly gay men still can't donate blood, right? Like, I mean, there's so many barriers. And then what you also see in terms of your question, the verbiage from state capitals, municipal towns across the country, and even our federal government until recently was hostile, absolutely hostile, and still is in so many places across this country towards the trans community in particular, right? You see legislation in places like Nebraska and Arkansas and Alaska, where they are intentionally doing things like barring trans youth from playing in sports, right? Barring anybody who's trans from using the bathroom. Here in Montclair, what we just did a few months ago was pass the law that said any single use bathroom in the township must be labeled gender neutral. So complete opposite, right? And doing that and demonstrating that the sky isn't going to fall. Here we are. It's all good.
And you were also an instrumental member in organizing Out Montclair, which hopes to make a more solidarity for the LGBTQ plus members. Can you talk more about Out Montclair?
Yeah, I think, a few people had asked me both before, during, and after my run, what could we do to help build community? I want to give credit to two women in particular, Ravenna Spence and Madeline Gale on the Civil Rights Commission, for planting the seed with me. And I have a lot of experience community organizing before running for office, like I said. And so I thought we could do all we want for structural equality and equality and law in Montclair, but what I thought we were strongly missing was community, was a sense of community, and especially after the pandemic, or really on the other end of the worst of the pandemic, which is where I hope we are, feeling like our community is already marginalized and isolated, and those things were exacerbated by that. So I felt strongly that we needed to pull something together to create a safe space for people to come and form relationships. And we have two very distinct focuses, among several, but one is Out Montclair Teens and the other is Out Montclair 50 plus. And I'm so proud of those groups. We have 40 LGBTQ teens showing up at our events, and we've got the last 50 plus event we did was over 100 people. So we are saying, to those communities too, right? The youngest and the more senior, we want to provide resources and assets for you to be able to come together and develop community. And it's really been a beautiful thing to see that.
Speaking of community involvement, another aspect of the rating comes from the Montclair Police Department having an LGBTQ liaison position, which is important because there's been a big discourse, not just about police in this country in general, but like police at Pride, things like that, and whether, given the history of, the sides the police in the United States have historically taken, whether they should be involved in a process about LGBT rights if they're capable of standing with us. Myself as a transgender woman, that's where the us comes from. What do you think having a representation in the police force means for Montclair, and do you think that could be generalized to the bigger discussion at all?
I think it means, well, I can't tell you what it means for you as a trans person. For me as a gay man, I like knowing that there is an openly gay woman on the police force, somebody who who gets the experience, who understands the experience, who has struggled with coming out, who has struggled with fitting into, civic institutions and protocols and all of that. And so having that representation, because she's then able to, look over to the person on her left and the person on her right and say, hey guys, that's wrong. You got that wrong. Like, here's how you need to think about this. In terms of presence at things like Pride, for example, it's tricky, right? There are attacks and hate crimes across this country all the time. I think our community is, we are intentionally targeted for violence. And so, I personally take comfort in having a police presence at Pride, but it means so much more to know that the police are there and they're wearing Pride pins, right? And they're not just there to protect us, but they're also to be part of us. So I think it's multi-layered and complex and very nuanced. I think our police department, and particularly our community policing division, do a really outstanding job of embedding themselves in the community. They're so involved in everything from Little League and football to all of our festivals and events, walking up and down the street, developing relationships with young people. And I think that there's a stronger level of trust between the police and the community here in Montclair than most other places.
And of course, that is something that goes mostly. It's really amazing to think about how this always is something that we see along the times, is the inclusion around Montclair. But how about in the workplace? We're at a point where many people are not openly homophobic or transphobic, but there is undoubtedly still people out there who are. Does making a position on the workforce that is directly related to the LGBTQ plus situations present an extra danger?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Maybe it breeds resentment for some. I think we are living in an era right now of a major shift in consciousness around diversity. I think we've talked about diversity in this country for a really long time, and clearly we have the women's suffrage movement, and we've had the civil rights movement in the 60s. But I think the real shift in consciousness that's happening right now is the fact that, just not that long from now, we're going to be a minority majority country. And I think, Caucasian Americans, straight Caucasian Americans, frankly, and we saw this a lot with Trump, or I think are feeling a little insecure about that shift, right? But most, I would say, are quite, open-minded and just want to understand and learn more about difference and what that means, right? Other and what that means. So, there's this great conflict, I think, happening. And like I said, we saw this with the last White House, frankly, who fanned the flames, I think, in a really ugly way, between how to embrace change and how that change can be really positive for people's lives and for the country and for the planet, versus resisting that change and taking an ugly perspective, and following through with that. So I think we've seen how both scenarios can play out. I don't think we are past, we haven't solved it yet. But at the end of the day, I think the presence of people of color, or people who are LGBTQ, diversity in general, always adds value, because it's diversity of not just how I look, it's diversity of my experience and how I overcame challenges and hurdles, and how that can add to our overall wisdom in terms of how to tackle the broader challenges and problems that we have as a society. So I see it as a net positive.
So to that end of like doing stuff to affect that kind of positive change, what kind of policies were implemented legally and civilly, under, like, what policies were you a part of to address LGBT equality?
Yeah, so specifically doing single-user restrooms, mandating that they're gender neutral in Montclair, and that goes into effect on December 19th. We gave businesses 6 months to do that. Updating our procurement and employment laws specifically to enumerate protections on the basis of gender identity and expression in Montclair. Reaffirming the state's conversion therapy ban, having an LGBTQ liaison from town hall, not just the police department, town hall to the community, planning our first Pride Festival for next year, launching Out Montclair, and again with those subgroups of Out Montclair teens and Out Montclair 50+. So this compilation, again, of like the structural, protections in the law, making sure we spend a lot of money as a township, a couple $100 million a year, making sure those dollars, when we spend them with people and suppliers and companies and professional services in the region, all have to comply with our laws. It's a really, really big deal. It's using the power of the purse to influence equality across the board. But again, the lived equality component, which is what Out Montclair is about, making sure that we are building community, that we're educating our community and our allies in Montclair about what the plight and struggle is for people, for our people.
That's awesome. And I also think it's awesome that you brought up that you're addressing, like the 50+ thing because, a lot of times as a community, I feel like we forget about stuff like that. Yeah. That, it's not that the community isn't just younger people, and it's not just, one specific group of people. It encompasses everybody. So I guess my next question would be, what do you want to see going forward? You've done, these are amazing things and these are important things to, make sure, like you said, that our tax dollars get spent on stuff that actually matters. What do you want to see next?
I really want to see us develop a bullying prevention policy. So something that at a higher level says that not just similar to what I was talking about in terms of employment and procurement, but now taking it a step further to say anybody who has who operates a service for kids or for youth in Montclair who receives money from our government in the form of grants or aid or whatever that is, has to have anti-bullying provisions in their own codes of conduct, So training for employees on how to deal with bullying when they encounter it in real time, right? And just having those policies in place so that they know what to do when you encounter it. That's going to be a big deal. Having that for ourselves as a township as well. So making sure that our athletics department, recreation department, our summer camps, anybody who's affiliated with those have been trained, have signed off that they understand what they're required to do, and to make sure that that experience is a good one for youth. And by the way, like this is not an LGBTQ thing. This is across the board. This is bullying based on weight. This is bullying based on how you look. It could be your political affiliation. It could be your parents' political affiliation. It's all of the above. Just making sure we're having that sensitivity training. Longer term, I really hope we can create a community center here in Montclair with some very basic resources. So I imagine that we've got, a crisis counselor on the spot in a community center. So when something goes down, there's a bullying incident on the basketball court, on the football field, somebody can head on into our community center and talk to somebody immediately. The same for, our school district. So I think there's a lot we can do to just, again, make sure the lived equality experience is different. It's one thing for us to have press releases and headlines to say we have a perfect score in Montclair. It's quite another for people to feel like when they're living here and they're engaging with the community, that they're having a healthy and thriving experience.
Thank you so much, Councilman Peter Iacobellis. Thank you so much for your time and everything you've done for the community. We're going to take a quick break right here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. When we get back, we are talking about giant gingerbread monoliths and Florida Man. Always Florida Man. It's always Florida Man. So all that and more. Thank you so much, Councilman Iacobellis. I know we went a little bit over the time that you had for us. Thank you so much. We always have 100% time for you. We're going to go to break real quick, and we got 2 more stories before we head out for the day. Stay tuned. Everybody.
You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is the Monday edition of the Morning Buzz, and I'm here alongside my co-host, Tara Cicchetti. We got 2 more. I thought you were about to say yeet. Yeet. We got 2 more stories to close out the last 7 minutes of this Monday Morning Buzz. We got, which one do you want to do? You pick. Which one do you want to do?
I'll take Florida Man. What are you
right.
thinking?
That means mysterious gingerbread monolith appears in San Francisco. It could have been alien elves. There's no other immediate explanation for the 7-foot-tall gingerbread monolith that mysteriously appeared in a San Francisco park. It is not clear how edible the structure was, but witness reported the texture and the smell of the monolith panels seemed to be the real thing. It was decorated with icing. The structure was the latest in the series of monoliths that have appeared and disappeared from Utah to the Isles of Wight. The San Francisco version appears to be the first made of a Christmas treat. The director of transportation at the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency, Jeffrey Tumlin, called the expertly iced, in quote, monolith the, quote, perfect act of San Francisco 2020 defiance, unquote. Dun, dun, dun.
My favorite part of that story is the fact that no one noticed it showing up. I mean, when something's that big, you tend to notice when it goes in.
Yeah.
Like, it's just I don't know how they didn't understand that. It's just wild.
Yeah, it's someone just walking by like, "Hey, Bob."
Hey, Bob.
Oh, just another, just a gingerbread.
It just got the icing everywhere. I can't deal with this. This is an uncomfortable story.
Yeah,
we're gonna move on right now to the very last one for you today on the Morning Buzz on 90.3 WMSC. Florida Man, we're checking in with you, buddy. John Q, Florida. Excuse me. I had a frog in my throat.
Yeah.
Florida man says wind blew cocaine into his car. A man pulled over in Fort Pierce last month claimed that the cocaine residue found inside a Budweiser can along with a crack pipe were blown there by accident.
Hey man, it just happened to be.
It flew in the window, dude.
Yeah, man. Hey, relax, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything, officer. It just happened to just fly in while I was driving.
Yeah, when the cops asked him, his name's Zach, about the white residue inside the can, which, you know, surprisingly tested positive for crack cocaine, he told them, quote, the police or the wind must have planted it there. Yeah, so he opened his defense with, I don't know, maybe you saw it. You must have been the first one to put it there.
So this is the kind of guy that cheat on his wife and be like, she just appeared. All right, yeah. I didn't know she was there.
Yeah.
Like I was unaware. I fell.
Yeah.
And then all of this. Man, this is a tough 3 minutes. I'm not gonna.
This is absolute haymaker of a story, right?
And you know, oh my goodness.
Because like, not only like are you getting messed up at driving and drinking and driving, which is horrible, right? But then like, your first defense isn't, it's not mine. Well, I guess it is. It's not mine, but it's not. Oh, I'm sorry. This won't happen again. Whatever. It's just the wind. I had my window open, and somebody on the other side of I-95 threw a crack pipe out the window, and it bounced once and landed in my car along with the crack and this can of Budweiser.
But Professor, I didn't cheat on the test. The answers just happened to be on my desk.
Yeah, somebody showed up. It was weird. I showed up to class. Somebody wrote all the answers on this piece of paper when I showed up and sat down.
It was the custodian that.
Yeah.
like what?
Maybe it was the gingerbread guy from the previous story.
Yeah, it was the gingerbread. It was the gingerbread from San Francisco. Yeah. That's the reason that guy has coke in his system.
Spraying icing all over the place. Yeah. That story is terrifying to me.
Yeah.
The giant gingerbread man is just way too big for me to be comfortable with.
Yeah, and it's and the best part about all of it is that
do you think Nate would enjoy this story?
I think I think that Nate would. I think that Nate would. Oh man.
I think Ben's short circuited.
I'm short circuiting.
It's just like that one about the gingerbread man is so weird though, because it's so big and like out just in public. I'm not used to seeing that in like public places, you know?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think Nate would Nate, with all the craziness in this story, I think Nate would be able to relate. But I think at the end of the day, I don't think there's a single thing that happens in Florida that is normal.
No. Although the giant gingerbread man is not just Florida, is not a Florida thing. It's San Francisco. It's worldwide. It's in Utah. It's in the Isle of Wight. I mean, just out all over the world. It's crazy.
It's worldwide, as our producer said.
Big, giant, girthy gingerbread men all over the place.
And on that note, I don't know where to go from here. So,
how about we go to the top of the hour and then we leave? How do you feel about that plan?
I'm okay with that. You're listening to 90. Oh my god. I did my best, guys, to not laugh. You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is the Monday edition of the Morning Buzz. We want to thank you all for joining us here. Monday, please tune in next Monday if you want. Of course, it's optional. I'd be mucho sado though, but you don't have to care about my feelings. We'll see you guys very soon. We'll see you guys when it turns December, I think, or November. I don't know. I honestly, I've given up my entire whatever. We'll see you later.